Hey guys, so today I want to work on sprucing up these winter containers by the front entryway to make it a little bit more inviting. And I want to talk to you guys about my thought process in terms of how I go about doing that. So if you're interested, grab your coffee, sit down, and let's get to work. Welcome back to Gardens by Monica, where we take garden-inspired ideas and make them simple, beautiful, and doable for your home year-round. So let me talk to you about this project. Now, it is quite cold here in New Jersey, so I want to work to get this done as quickly as possible, and it's also really breezy, so hopefully you guys are going to be able to hear me through the wind. But what I did was I worked to forage a bunch of different things throughout my garden. So I have some red twig dogwood that I actually planted this fall for this exact reason. I also have some different varieties of evergreens for different textures and heights. I also have some magnolia branches that I'm gonna pop in there for some different color as well. And then I also have some of these fake red berries that I'm going to pop in there just for some added color. Now, when you do these containers, you want to think through a couple different things. One is your thriller, spiller, filler rule. So basically what that means is what's going to be tall, what's going to droop over the side of the container to give that nice luxurious feel, and then what's going to fill in the middle parts of the container. So that's one. The second part that you want to think through is the layers, which sound a little bit similar to the thriller, spiller, filler idea that I just talked about, but it's more about what are the different colors and textures that are going to set the layers apart. So for me, I'm going to be using the red twig dogwood. That is going to be a different color and texture than the evergreens around it. So let's get started. There are tons of options to use for thrillers. Yellow twig dogwood adds instant brightness. Curly willow and walking stick branches give beautiful sculptural movement, and willow branches with catkins add soft, gorgeous texture. You can even paint regular branches white. These are just a few ideas, and there are so many other great materials out there, so think ahead about the look or inspiration you want, and then forage some of these from your own yard or find them at your local garden center or florist. Having a vision in mind saves so much time when you're starting to build your container. All right, so we have our tall piece in place, or our thriller. Now we're going to work on the next layer. So for the next layer, I do like to always get the evergreens done first. And while I have a large variety of evergreens, I have 1, 2, 3, 4 different types of evergreens. I don't think that I'm going to use all 4 because it might end up looking a little bit too busy. So I'm probably going to only use maybe 1 or 2 different types of evergreens. I think in general, for pots, in order for it to look cohesive, you want to stick to a minimum of 3 different varieties, but a maximum of probably about, I would say maximum would be 7 different varieties of things actually going into the pot, depending on your pot size. And even the 7 is probably going to be a really large pot. For something the size of this one, I'm probably going to use anywhere between 4 to 5 different varieties of items so that it doesn't look like just a mishmash of things and your eye doesn't know where to rest. So I want to make sure that there's a lot of cohesion going on in the pot and doesn't look too busy. Now, I like to work on both pots at the same time because it's a lot easier to get them symmetrical this way And you can make any adjustments as you go if things are looking a little bit off kilter. All right, so here we are with the fir boughs. All right, so the next thing I'm going to add is my so-called spiller. Now, I love to add incense cedar or seeded eucalyptus, but that can also get quite expensive, and I didn't want to spend that amount of money right now. So what I'm going to be adding is this green giant arborvitae. It has a very lovely texture to it in terms of spilling over the sides of the container. I've used them in other containers, so I'm just going to go in and add this, and it's going to be my quote spiller. So these containers were filled with soil before. I had to thaw the soil out because it was completely frozen, and all I did was basically fill my kettle with some water, boil some water, and throw it on there. Now the soil is nice and wet, so I can stick these branches in it quite easily. And the nice thing is that once it freezes again, the branches will stay in there and they won't move around in this crazy wind that we are having. All right, so here it is. I did also add in some weeping pine because I really like the look of that against the texture of the fir boughs and the green giant arborvitae. And now I'm going to layer in the magnolia branches. That is with the magnolia branches added. Now I could leave it like this, or I could add one more layer. And I'm thinking I would like another layer between the magnolia branches and the evergreens to kind of separate that a little bit more. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to use those faux red berries and see what that looks like. And if I don't like it, then I'll take it out. I think I'm going to use some of these glitter branches instead, just because I didn't like the color of the berries. They just were a different kind of red that I didn't really care for. So I'm actually going to use these because they're a little bit more muted, but they give just enough color to contrast and separate the layers. All right, so the very last thing I'm going to be adding is the fairy lights, and then we're going to clean up after ourselves and take a look at what this looks like. All right, guys, so here we are, the final product. The only thing that I added was the ribbon, which I attached to the containers. I did use some double-sided tape just to give it some added strength because it kept sliding down from the weight of the bow, and I wanted it to sit a little bit higher on the container. I don't know if that's going to last through this cold. Hopefully it will, but if not, then I'm just going to take the ribbon off and it's not going to be a big deal. Everything else though, it looks really nice. It looks really lush and full and luxurious. The nice part is once Christmas is over, all I have to do is pop these little glitter twigs out and it should still last me through January and well into February if I still like the way this looks, if I haven't gotten bored of it quite yet. And even better is it didn't really cost me that much. The only thing I really had to pay for was the magnolia leaves, only because I didn't want to touch that tree quite yet. The glitter twigs I had from last year, and everything else was really foraged from the yard. So yeah. So with that, I hope you guys like this video. Let me know in the comments below what you guys think. Please remember to like, subscribe, and share with your friends. I'm also going to pop a couple of additional videos here which you guys might like and enjoy, just some more holiday decorating tips or container decorating tips in case you're into that kind of thing. And with that, I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.